everyone. I think I'm ready. Third time's a charm, but we won't go into that. Welcome, Jan Hicks of Jan Hicks Creates here in beautiful Hawaii. Still really can't believe we're here. So, but yep, I look out my window and it's Hawaii. So I hope you guys are all doing well. We're doing good. As you can see, things aren't looking too bad. Still a little bit of chaos going here. Up in the loft, there's a lot of chaos. That's why we're not up there. I plan on working on that today. Hopefully that will get organized today. Get yourself something to drink. Settle in. I have a lot to show you today. Mostly because since I've been reunited with my stash, I'm going to show you all of the big projects that I can now show you in person instead of just pictures of, that I'll be working on this year, as well as progress that I've made on what I have been working on, as well as new starts, all the things. But I want to start with a couple of announcement newsy type things first. First of all, I want to thank you and say welcome to new members. For those of you that took a peek at my tutorial on how to use Knit Companion for cross stitch, you will know what I'm talking about. I contacted the developer of Knit Companion, Sally, who I've had contact with. Of course, I was a beta tester for the new version, so I've had contact with her several times over the years. So she knew who I was. And I let her know that I had done that video. She watched it. She loved it. She was like, holy cow, what a great idea. She featured my video in her last newsletter. So those of you that are coming here from her newsletter, welcome. I hope you like what you see. Please let me know if you have any questions about anything. This is a channel that focuses on cross stitch and knitting. At this point in my life, I am doing more cross stitch than knitting. There was many years that pretty much all I did was knit, besides life. I worked at a knitting store in Sarasota, at a Good Yarn in Sarasota, Florida, and loved it. Love everything about knitting. But I've stepped back a little bit from knitting to return to my first love, which is cross stitch. And so a lot of what you're going to see is cross stitch. If you're here because you love cross stitch too, then welcome. But I'm glad everybody's here. I hope you enjoy. Those that have been my longtime companions, because I'm almost a year. Welcome back. I'm glad you are here. We are in for, I think, a fun year. Lots of yummy stuff to do, and I hope you enjoy watching my progress. Let's see. Yoga. I invited you guys to join me in Yoga with Adrian's month-long yoga journey called Dedicate. We are on day 13 today. I haven't missed a day. Still going strong. I hope you guys who had mentioned that you might join me have, and that you are enjoying it too. Even if you've never done yoga before, I hope that you're finding that it's just a good thing to add to your day, whether it's to become more flexible, to add more activity, to find peace and calmness. There is so much about yoga that's good. So I hope that those of you that have joined me are enjoying it. And if you're just hearing about it on this video and are interested, Yoga with Adrian, if you do a search on YouTube on Yoga with Adrian, it's Adriene, just a single N, you will find her channel, and the month-long program is called Dedicate. So that is going well. Let's see, I did want to mention, so I went down to Fiddlesticks 2, the cross-stitch store here in Honolulu, to pick up my goodies for my giveaway, and I'll talk about that later. But she told me that there is a quilting store actually, in Chico, California, that is gathering kits for those who lost everything in the Paradise Fire, the campfires, the fires in California this year. Now this is a quilting store, and I looked at her Facebook page where she talks about it. I didn't see anything on her website about it. She does have the quilting store is called the Linen Quilter. So from what I could gather on her Facebook page, it is mostly quilting supplies, sewing type things that she has been gathering so far. I posted on the Facebook page, therefore, a question whether she was taking cross-stitch supplies, letting her know that Fiddlesticks 2 here is gathering kits together. I'm just looking in the TV at the reflection of Sasha chewing on one of the blinds that's down halfway over the window. Sasha, that's what you're hearing banging. So I let her know that this store here was collecting cross-stitch kits, and I just wanted to confirm that she is interested in collecting that and finding interested parties for those donations. So once the cross-stitch store here heard about it through Needle in a Haystack in Alameda, California. So like I said, I posted a question on her Facebook page. I am going to wait till she replies, and then if she does reply, I will let you guys know an address and any details. My understanding is that they are taking complete kits, so fabric, floss, needles, hoop, scissors, assuming that these people have lost everything. They need everything, so you give them a basic starter kit, whatever you want. But I will let you know. I'll probably post it on Instagram, on my own Facebook page, Jan Hicks Creates, as well as mentioning it in whatever videos I do once I find out for sure what's going on there. But I wanted to let you know that that's happening. Now he is over chewing on tape on one of the boxes. He has food. He's a butt. Oh my God. Yeah, we still have a pile of boxes. We've broken them all down and they're stacked here. I have to call the moving company today and have them come back out and get the rest of the debris. All of the boxes are emptied. So that's a good feeling. All right, so I think that was all the newsy type things. Oh, for those that are interested and that had sent well wishes for Nina, she is doing better. We are giving her shots of Ataquan for osteoarthritis, which seemed to be working. We had her on some anti-inflammatory pain meds, which were certainly working. She isn't limping hardly at all. We have 2 more shots to give. They're spaced out every 3 or 4 days. So we have 2 more shots to give in the course, and this had happened to her a couple years ago, and she got 1 shot then. It was when we were still in Sarasota. She got 1 shot then of the Ataquan, and it totally cleared up any problems for 2 years. So we're hoping that that will happen here, although with stairs here, it might be aggravating it. But that's the update on Nina. Okay. Like I said, I am surrounded by all kinds of stitchy and knitty goodness. So let's get started. I'm going to start with the thing I'm knitting. This is the Palmer Tee by Kitty B Knits, by Kitty B Knitting, sorry cat. It is I didn't bring up the picture. It's a panel in the front with the lace. You make front and back of this, and then you pick up stitches along these edges and knit back and forth in garter stitch like this to form the sleeves. So this is the middle panel of the front. You can see I have the middle done. I'm almost done. I think I have 1 more repeat up here to do before I finish this side of the front shoulder. Then I'll go back. You can see these stitches are on spare, this is actually floss, spare floss. I'll pick those up and do the other side. And then I have to do this again for the back. And once that panel is done in the back, then I 3 needle bind off the 2 shoulders together, and then I'll be picking up the stitches. I'm using a yarn from Queensland called, I think it's Llama Soft. It's a cotton llama blend. It's really soft. It doesn't have the stretch like wool, but I think it's going to be great for here on, you know, those 2 chilly days of the year when I need a sweater. It actually gets chilly at night. Like this morning, I think it was down to 59. I know. Oh, Jan, that's so cold. I know. But it's chilly for here when you figure there's no heat in the apartment. There's no way to heat it. So it's 59 degrees in here when I wake up. Now, it warms up. It's 74 now. Oh, I forgot to show you. You can't see it. It is 11:18 on Monday, January 14th, 74 degrees and cloudy in Mililani, although the clouds are clearing off. So it is chilly in the morning when you wake up at 6 before the sun rises, but it does warm up nicely, so believe me, I'm not complaining. Okay, so there's my knitting. Palmer T, Kitty Bee knitting. Now I'm going to start. I only really have one small whip at this point. I mean, I have other small whips upstairs, but that I'm actively working on. And that is Home for Christmas Plum Street Samplers. This is the one that's the Dying to Stitch club exclusive. You're starting to see a lot of people finish this on Instagram and Facebook. I'm not a member of the club. I picked it up on Stash Unloading. So I got this. Well, I still haven't gotten the pomegranates filled in, but I wanted to get down here to the pumpkin in the vase because they're so cute, and got to start on the house because it's nice mindless stitching. So making good progress on that. I haven't worked on it in the past couple days because unpacking. When I do get time to stitch, well, I choose this if I'm tired because it's mindless, or I knit because it's relatively mindless for me, and doesn't take really close concentration with the eyes. Trying to figure out where to put my, I've shown this pile. That'll do. All right, next, Sampler Cove. I've been trying to get some on this every couple of days. This actually stitches up, you know, all the little motifs. For those of you that have done Quakers before, you know this. This is my first real Quaker. The little motifs stitch up fairly quickly. So I'm working down in here. I started in the middle and I came across here and I'm working down. So there is that. The fabric is really washed out. There, that's good. It is XG Design, Ash Rose in 40 count. Now it's faded again. Whoa. So I got the bottom corner done, and I'm starting the motif next to it. I have to get some graph paper because those of us that are working on this is the SAL. I think there's 5 of us now. I think. Garbage truck. I said I would try and graph out our initials in a circle here, so I need to get some graph paper and get going on that. I used to have graph paper. It may be here somewhere. I don't know. But anyway, Sampler, Grace Quaker Sampler by Sampler Cove. Isn't that funny how the light just totally fades it out? Anyway, Grays from one of the Victorian Motto Sampler threads, gray packs, and then a pop of red, which is also Victorian Motto. Okay. Leeds House Sampler. So in case you were wondering, everything else I'll be showing you now is all of my BAPs, big ass projects for 2019. Starting with the Grace Quaker Sampler. So next up is Leeds House. The Leeds House Sampler by Rosewood Manor. I started here and I came down here so I could work this corner and get to the green, because the green is so pretty. I am using 32 count helix by Picture This Plus. It calls for 28 count helix. I just decided to go a little bit smaller. I couldn't go a whole lot smaller. I am using the sulky threads that the pattern calls for, and you use one strand of that. It's equivalent to 2 strands of floss, so I couldn't go any smaller really on the fabric because the floss would be too big. But look how pretty. Aren't those greens pretty? Haven't worked on this one for a few days, but I'm very happy with that. Hoity Toity got some love. I don't have a picture to show you of Hoity Toity because it is digital, but Hoity Toity got some love over the past few days, and I worked mostly on those gorgeous birds in the center. Isn't that pretty? I just remembered, I promised some people the thread conversion for Woolamina, and I never did that. I need to do that. Anyway, and this has thread conversions too. Some of them are called for, some of them are converted to Victorian motto threads that were somewhat close but different. I'm having so much fun with this. So this fabric there, that's closer, more gold. This fabric is a 36 count that I've had in my stash for years and years and years. I don't know what it is, but it is gorgeous, and these colors just pop on it. So Hoity Toity, another one from the year of big ass projects. 4 seasons. What I have done so far is some of this tree here. So this is truly a big ass project. I mean, the fabric is it's just huge. But there is the start of my little tree. The fabric is 36 count from XG Designs. I forget what she called it, like denim or something like that. I had her custom dye it for me, a custom size, custom cut, since I needed such a big piece. And it's gorgeous. Anyways, I don't have, by the way, any type of rotation set up yet. At this point, I'm kind of stitching on whatever catches my fancy, whatever scratches my itch. I'm getting to the point though where I don't know what the word for it is. I'm a little words, they can be hard. I get, I don't know, like deer in the headlights. I don't know. You probably know what I'm talking about, where I just can't, indecision. You know, just I have so many things to choose from, I can't decide. So I may get one of those little tiny decision apps and do the spinny thingy. I want to work on my projects more than one day at a time, but I don't know how many days before I decide to switch. That may just be whatever I feel like. Oh, I don't feel like picking that up. Let's see what the wheel decides for me today. That kind of thing. Next on the list, my chatelaine. This is the Taj Mahal chatelaine. This is the only one I work on a Q-snap. So obviously I need to get it back on the Q-snap so I can get working on it. Because like I said, this is not going to go another year unfinished. This is just too gorgeous of a project. So, and know where the floss is for this. I haven't put my hands on the instructions yet. It's up there somewhere. Like I said, today's the day to make sense of all that up there. Okay, next up we have all the new stuff. Somewhat new stuff. New and old, but stuff that you didn't see. Well, I guess some of this is stuff you haven't seen in real life for a while, or not at all. Anyway, just continue on, Jan. Jacobean tree. Sorry, Lynette. Jacobean tree. My good friend Lynette corrected my pronunciation because, of course, this is from the Jacobite area. This is from the Jacobite area. Jacobite era in Scotland. So Jacobean is the correct pronunciation. I got this as just a pattern. It comes as a kit. I got this from Lisa Richter. She gifted this to me, but it is just the chart. So the kit comes with the what is it, 18 count Ada, which I would have changed anyways, and it comes with Finca floss. So I did the conversion of the Finca to DMC, and what was really cool about that is that, you know, Finca doesn't have as many colors as DMC, so for some of the colors it would give me 2 or 3 options of the DMC, which was excellent because I have so many different projects going with floss out in them that some of the colors either I didn't have yet or are occupied in another project. So there's only one color that, I think it's in this one, there's only one color that I do not own. And I'll probably just see if I have something that I can substitute for that. So yeah, I was able to pretty much have something for all the different floss colors. So I chose 35 count. This is a raw linen 35 count. This is one of the pieces, if you remember from the boxes that I got from my friend, from her deciding not to stitch anymore, and she, you know, we made a deal with her stash. She had a piece of 35 count, a yard piece of 35 count raw linen. So this is part of that. This is a huge piece. So yeah, BAP. Definitely a BAP. And so this is what the colors look like. I am probably going to get some stitches in this beauty today. So I'll be stitching this 1 over 2. And it'll be interesting to see, since it is done on white, I'm really anxious to see what it looks like on the raw linen. I think the colors are going to pop. I'm happy. Happy with my choice. Getting to the point where we're going to have avalanches here. The next one I want to show you is the Tree of Dreams. This again came with, it's a kit, it came with 14 count Ada, which I traded out, and it came with all the floss. All the floss. Now, again, my good friend Lynette informed me that Joy Sunday, now I got this off of Amazon, but Joy Sunday is known for stealing patterns and kitting them up. There's no mention on here of who the designer is of this, what the artwork is, where it came from, what the inspiration was. So it's very possible that it is an illegally gotten chart by Joy Sunday. Now, having said that, I paid good money for it. I'm going to do it. But just from now on, I'll know just to stay away from Joy Sunday kits. Live and learn. So like I said, I traded out the 14 count Ada, and I decided to go with a 28 count 1 over 1, because you know me, I'm crazy like that. So here's my little tiny start. of 28 count 1/1. 28 count. So that is starting down here in the left corner, bottom left. And this is kind of a cool place to start because these are all just great big chunks of color. You can tell up here there's going to be a lot of confetti. And I looked up there at all the confetti and went, nah, let's start bottom left. So that is that. Now this is a 28 count even weave, Jobelan, Monaco. Did you guys see that Monaco is going to be discontinued? If you're a Monaco stitcher and that's your primary love, grab it when you can because apparently Charles Craft is going to discontinue it. So this mess, it is nicely numbered and everything. I have plenty of my floss Tux bags. I'm going to take the time and get all of this off of here and get it in those bags because this is just insanity waiting to happen. Ain't nobody got time for that. So that is that one. Next on the agenda, let's pull out this one. Oh shoot, hold on. Needle giving us problems. All right, so I mentioned, and I don't have a picture of this. This is digital. This is the 2017 Linen and Threads Mystery Sampler. And I mentioned the last time that I'm going to shorten this. I haven't looked at it yet to decide which bands I'm going to keep and which I'm going to get rid of. But I'll probably only do maybe 3 or 4 more bands, so, you know, have it like that long. It doesn't need to be any longer than that. This is a 28 count linen, so stitching 2 over 2. And I am very pleased with it. I've loved working on this. Each band goes relatively quickly. Of course, some of the bands are bigger. So I do want to get back to this and get this done. All right, the other one from last year is my poor modern folk embroidery. This was the mystery stitch along for 2018 for modern folk embroidery. And he does have a new one out, as does Linen and Threads. I forget what Jakob's first part of his is. I'm trying not to look. All of you that are doing the Linen and Threads one and are showing all your peacocks, you're killing me. I do not need to do another sow. I told myself I was not going to do one this year, but that peacock is killing me. So this is the one that I started, oriented incorrectly on the fabric. And there's my first start. I haven't finished taking it all out yet. And I have to tell you, I look at this and look at these colors and think, you know, Jan, I really like the colors you did there. Why did you change? And the original reason I changed is because I felt that the white and the gray were fading in too much. But I do really like that. But I'm not picking it out again because this is what I have so far on the restart. And I like this one too. I wanted to add more pops of color, and actually I wanted to add more brown because to me, winter is grays and browns. My overall outline is the dark blue. I think that's wrought iron by Victorian Motto. I don't remember the rest of them at this point. The colored ones are from Color Compliments in Vancouver, Canada. I ordered some from her. So my plan is with each season to change out, you know, I'll keep the dark blue as the main color, but my plan is to change out the colors in each of the seasons to represent the colors of the season. So more pastel-y for spring, brighten it up for summer, jewel tone it down for autumn. The same shades, just going through those transitions. So I've loved this one. I was working really well with this and the Harbor Haven Sal, and at the start of the year, the start of 2018, getting it done. And then I realized this, and it was a gut kick. So it got put away. I restarted it obviously and got some done, but other things came along as they do. All right, so 2 more. Going way back in the stash, and I will say up front, you may be able to find this or some of her other ones on eBay. I do not know. Liz Turner Deal. This pattern is from 1996. I have 3 of her Not Work Garden patterns. But anyways, this is the one I decided to do. This is called the 16th century 16th century medieval family garden, I think. And I found in my wonderful stash this beautiful natural linen. This is a 32 count. All the edges are serged very nicely. This is another one from my friend, from her box. So these are the flosses. Isn't that going to be pretty? And that light linen. Oh, I want to start this one today too, even if it's just a few stitches. So this one also calls for some glisten gloss, rainbow glisten gloss from Glisten Gloss. And 1, 2, 3 stitch carries it, but again, stitching from stash. There's not a lot of it, and I have a feeling that it's probably used, it's a blending filament, so it's probably held together with the flowers, with the color for the flowers, to add a little bit of sparkle. No, I don't think we need sparkle in a medieval garden. You know, I don't think so. Anyways, mine isn't going to have sparkle. I'll just use 2 strands of the floss that it's called for, because it's 1 strand of the floss and 1 strand of the blending filament. We'll just use 2 strands of floss and it'll be gorgeous. Gorgeous. So, last but not least, have you been waiting for it? I have been. Eliza Gonzalez. And thank you to those on Instagram who corrected my pronunciation, Luz, which, if my Spanish from eons ago, I was a Spanish minor in college. Luz is the word for light, I believe. She has begun. So I am using 40 count linen from, this is the linen that Nancy from Victorian Motto Sampler Threads made for the Eliza Bell Cox sampler. And it was perfect for this. It's actually a little bit big for this, but that's okay. So there's my start. Let's see if I can get this. That's a pretty good representation. It's very much a yellowy cream. It's going to fade out again, but so I got the letters on the top, and then N 1851, and a little bit of the satin stitch started. Let me see if I can get this to focus here. Got a little bit of the satin stitch started. And I can tell this is going to be an amazing stitch. Now, I do have a question. Shoot, I didn't get it out. Hold on. Which bag is this in? Because I do have a question for you all. It is buried down here. Hold on a second. Oh, no, it's in here. No, it's in there. I'm sorry, guys. Maybe this is what happens when you have too much going on, huh? Okay, so I have 2 questions, actually. The first one is, all right, you can see her name here. Eliza Gonzalez. I want to know Okay, so Luz Gonzalez, N 1851. So that means, I mean, in 1851, right? Her name in 1851. So this, I assume this is, I want this to say something like wrought by, stitched by. I would think if it was going to be that, there would be a day in there. Can anybody tell what word that is? To me, it looks like LohYzo. Maybe it's a place name? That could be, right? There's no explanation given in the design, in the chart of that. So if anybody knows that, I'd appreciate it. And again, I have that pretty much done. I'm doing this page by page. The designer recommends doing the letters first so that you have correct placement of the satin stitch so you can see in relation to the letters. But okay, so I did that page's letters. I'm going to work down, do it page by page, mostly because I want to see all the different things as soon as I can instead of waiting. Because underneath this satin stitch motif, then we start getting into that, the cross stitch, and oh my god, I can't wait to get to that. But then I can't wait to get to that either. Oh my god, it's so pretty. The other question I have for you. So I had mentioned in my last Flosstube that I had ordered the silks from the Stitching Post in Maryland. And whenever I called and gave them the list of numbers, of course she said she didn't know if she had them all in stock, and if they didn't, they would, send out whatever whenever it came in. And I said, don't worry about charging me extra shipping, I'll pay, blah blah blah. So when I got the package, there's 22 colors. When I got the package, I'm pretty darn sure that receipt said 22. I didn't count them, I don't think, and I don't still have the receipt, but there was no note that said anything had been back ordered. There was no note of any kind that let me know that, they're not all here. So I started working on it. Well, I pulled the colors out for that, for the first satin stitch section, and one of the colors is missing. And the receipt is gone. The padded envelope that it came on is gone, in case that I left one in there and didn't see it. So I've lost a color, basically. Now the color is straw, and it's a yellow. I have this in my stash. This was a gift from Tamara Bowen, this Nana's Needles, that I think will be a good replacement. It's a little bit, I'd say it's a little bit blander than the yellow that's called for. Let's see if we can see it on here. And there's something I'm going to pull out. This. I don't think this is giving anything away because it's not really the chart. So this is a big, she gives you a big representation of the, a big picture of the different satin stitch motifs, so you can see exactly where the stitches go. So you can see the yellow here, straw. This is what I have. It's not too far off. I think it will work, and I think it's different enough from the fabric that it will work. The only concern I have is, and I don't think you can see it, I don't think you can see it on camera, it is a little bit variegated. Not really variegated, tonal. It's a little bit tonal. None of the other flosses, none of the other silks are tonal, of course. I don't think that's going to be a big deal. I would really like to use it and not have to rebuy what I apparently lost. But let me know what you think. Do you think that's something I should be concerned with or not? I'd love to hear your opinion. If it's something you would do, I'll do it. Okay, so that is all of those. And the more I sit here and talk to you, the more I think, yeah, I'm going to get one of those tiny decision apps and use that to decide what I'm working on. Because I also want to intersperse small ones, you know, do my hour a day as soon as my days allow me to have an hour other than unpacking, have an hour a day to do little ones, so I can be getting little ones done too. So that is all of that. I have a wee tiny bit of stash enhancement to show you, again courtesy of my dear friend Tamara, and then we will get to the giveaway. So Tamara sent me map of Hawaii and map of Maryland. These are Sue Hillis designs. How awesome are those? I love them. I'll probably do them small, over one on some count. Oh, and I know what I was going to tell you. Oh my God, I cannot tell you how much fun I had going through all of my linen. I showed the picture on Instagram. Maybe I'll insert it in here too, of how I have my linen stashed. I had so much fun going through it yesterday, picking out linen for these other projects, for the family garden, the knot garden, for the Tree of Dreams, and for just like that, it's gone. Oh my God. Tree of Dreams. Oh, and the Jacobean tree. Having a stash is a great thing. You know, it's not like I haven't seen that linen before. I showed it all to you, right, when I took it out of the box. But I have a great stash. Thank you, CJ. Thank you so much. Anyways, I think I'll do these little 1/1 on some unknown count as of yet. But aren't those cute? Thank you, Tamara. Those are awesome. And she has a design that's the whole map. That is so tempting. What I think would be fun to do is stitch the ones that we visited, kind of like we have the map on the side of our RV that we fill in whenever we've stayed overnight. So stitch the ones that we visited and then fill it in as we visit other ones. It's an idea. The other thing I got was from the Fat Quarter Company, the Lori Holt of Bee in My Bonnet. Remember, I gave away one of her autumn stitches, 3 actually, because they donated more. She sent another one to me. Are these adorable or what? So stinking cute. I think I'll stitch these as all separate little ornaments, because they just scream to be separate little ornaments, don't they? Look at the buttons. I don't know if she has a button pack at the store. Yep, cute little button bag to add buttons to your cross stitch. So I might have to get those. Anyways, thank you very much, Lori, and Fat Quarter Shop. So that's the stash enhancement. Bought nothing. Good girl, I know. Except I bought stuff for you. So, as I mentioned, I went down to the cross stitch store here, Fiddlesticks 2, and I was rather tickled. I went in and I introduced myself and I let them know that the reason I was there was to get a couple giveaways, a couple things to do as giveaways on my Flosstube channel. And they remembered me, and they had watched the one that I did of the tour there with Christina from Stitcher in Paradise. And so it was kind of fun. They were having a stitch in, and they introduced me, and there were several people that said, "Oh, we watched that one," and you know, so that was kind of fun. I feel like I have like kind of built-in friends there. I need to get down to one of the stitch-ins, but not until we get a second vehicle. So I have 2 things to give away here. I have something for our Ada lovers and something for our linen lovers. So for our Ada lovers, I have 3 of these little floral kits, and they come with the floss, with the needle, with the Ada, and I believe this is 14 count Ada, yes. Flora Hawaiiana collection. So this one's a bird of paradise. I got what at this point are my favorite flowers. An orchid, and a plumeria. Pretty, pretty, pretty. So that is going to one person. If you want this kit, say, I love me some Ada. The other one is Siapo, Samoan bark cloth. Now, I believe, yes, this is a local designer. And I think this is a local designer as well. I thought this was striking. This is the last one she had of this pattern, or I would have gotten one for me. But it has these other small patterns in it as well. Now, I got the linen as well. This is a, what did I get, 32 or 28? I think it calls for, model stitched on 18 count fiddler cloth. I think I got 32 count linen. I don't remember. I got enough for it though. So I got the white linen. And then you know me, when I have just a plain black, that's just done in 310. I couldn't make you do that in 310. So I got Genoart sampler thread, 3 skeins of blackboard. So that has, it's kind of a, it's kind of furry. Sorry. I'll remove all the fur before I send it. It's kind of a tealish black. I don't know whether you can catch. You can see it a little bit, I think. I just thought it was a really pretty. Something with a little variation, but not so much that it would disturb the flow of the design. So that is going to another lucky person, and you are going to say, I love me some linen. Now, you are more than welcome to love both when you comment. You will not win both, but you're more than welcome to like both of them. So rules, as always, don't say anything about giveaway. I will delete your comment. Be 18 or older so that you have permission to give me your address. I would say be a subscriber, but of course I would love for you to be a subscriber. I want you to like the video, but it is pretty much impossible to figure out, do like a search on subscribers in YouTube and figure out who is a subscriber and who isn't. But please like and please subscribe. Just, that's a good thing to do, right? Okay, I think that is everything. Let me check my handy dandy notes. Yep, that's everything. I am going to, so my actual 1-year anniversary is Wednesday, the 16th. Yeah, the 16th. I'm going to do a stitch with me. And I think what I'm going to do is kind of a tribute video while I stitch of what has happened this past year, who I've met, the highlights, that kind of thing. I don't know which of my many projects I will be working on. Tiny decision will help with that. So that's what I'm going to do to kind of, on my actual anniversary, to kind of celebrate it. I might do something on Friday too. But I don't know yet, because that's a week away. So that's all for now. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. I thank you again for being here, and I thank you for your support. And remember, find your joy. Whether you're looking out there at a gorgeous sunny day, or whether, as many of you are in, let's see, across the Midwest, across the Mid-Atlantic, I don't know how far this storm went up into New England, but those of you that are looking out on beautiful snowy landscapes who got off work today, I know there's a lot of those. I love seeing all of your snow pictures. I am perfectly happy seeing your snow pictures, and that's how it can remain, just as pictures. I hope you find your joy in whatever you're doing. Find your joy in your stitching, your knitting. It's out there. It's waiting for you. Don't let this day pass by without grabbing it. I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.